750 will be the second target.
Understood, Rajesh. Okay, now let's go across to Shrikant. He's calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, Shrikant. Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Please ask your question.
Namaste, madam.
Namaste.
I have a 2 lakhs investment and small cap and mid cap stock recommendations, madam. Long term is 10 years, madam. 10 years holding, madam. My children's fees gift, madam. Mid cap and small cap.
Okay, understood. Now,
Four stocks.
Right. I'll get your query answered. So Shrikant hails from Hyderabad and he is telling us that he has 2 lakh rupees with himself and he wants to invest in the mid cap and small cap space at the moment. And experts, he's asking for a couple of counters that you'd like to suggest at this given point of time. Girish, I'll throw this question to you first. In a turbulent time where the markets are going up and down every week or so, would you suggest Shrikant to invest in the mid cap and small cap space as compared to the large caps? Where do you see the bright spot?
So obviously these type of duration of these particular time frame when the market is little bit choppy, we saw that many of the investors have this thought of just invest in the small cap and the mid cap. So I've just suggested the 2 sectors. One is the infrastructure and another one is the pharmaceuticals. These both sector looks like a defensive as of now for the next 3 or 4 quarters itself. So for the pharma, I'm looking out the Piramal Pharma, who is more into the strong complications as well as the genetic combinations of medicines manufacturing. And the companies are already working in the different verticals in the pharmaceuticals as well as the medical manufacturing segments. So currently I'm looking out for the good upside for next at least 3 to 4 quarter time frame itself. So just slowly invested in this particular sector and the space. And the another one is the Ashiana Housing, where we are looking out just improvising into the urbans as well as the more priorities building clients as well as the infrastructure mode. So this is a very good space into it because now the companies are still working on their margin side. So these both counters for me for the next 3 to 4 quarters.
Understood. So Ashiana Housing and Piramal seems to be your top 2 picks. And Rajesh, very quickly from you, do you identify any counters that could give lucrative returns in the next 1 decade or so for Shrikant?
Yeah, so even I have a positive view on the pharma. Laurus Labs is what I'm looking at. We are expecting levels somewhere around 850 to 900 in the near term. So Laurus Labs can be bought. Along with that, SRF from the pharma chemical space has given a long-term breakout after over a decade, and at current levels can head towards 3300 to 3400. So SRF and Laurus Labs are the 2 top picks from my side.
Okay, so we have Piramal Pharma, Ashiana Housing, Laurus Labs, and the other one is SRF. Let's go across to Krishna Rao. He's calling us from Odisha. Hi, Krishna Rao. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
What's your question, Krishna Rao?
I'm having Indian Hotels Limited 50 shares at the rate of 680.
Okay.
My query is, should I book profit at the present price or wait for some time?
Understood. And when did you purchase the shares of Indian Hotels?
In the month of November 2024, ma'am.
Got it. Understood. Okay. And for how long do you want to hold on to these shares?
If the trend is positive, I can
sell also.
Keep it for a long term.
Okay, so you're open to both. Okay.
The program the program Ask Profit by NDTV is an extraordinary one, ma'am. I like it very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for complimenting us, Krishna Rao. I will take your question. Rajesh, what is your suggestion to Krishna Rao on Indian Hotels? He currently holds 50 shares at 680 rupees a piece, and the stock was down close to 1.5% in trade today. However, do you think it's going to give any kind of return in the next couple of months? Because Krishna Rao has a short-term view on this one.
So from a short-term view, I would suggest if he can book the profits, then definitely he needs to book profit because in the month of December as well, we had seen price correction from the same levels, and today also we are seeing that bearish engulfing happening at the top level. So from a shorter time frame, if he's looking for like a couple of months, definitely can book profit. But if he's looking to hold for like a year, then definitely the stock is poised towards 1,050 levels. So from a short term levels, short term point definitely book, but from a long term can hold for 1,000 levels.
Understood. Let's go across to Alok. He's calling us from Kolkata. Hi Alok, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please ask your question, Alok.
Yeah, I have bought Infra EIEL.
Okay.
100 shares at 270 rupees on 2nd of October.
Okay.
Now suffering a loss of 5,000, over 5,000.
Right.
My question is, should I hold it? And even if I hold it, will it be long term or short term? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that question, Alok. Let's take Girish's view on this one. Alok holds 100 shares of Enviro Infra Engineers at 270 rupees a piece, and he bought them back in October. Girish, what's your view on this one? Because the company has not been able to give Alok the kind of returns that he was perhaps aiming for. Where do you see the stock headed in the next couple of years? Because from a long-term perspective, do you think it's an advisable stock?
So for the long-term propositions, it's not very much good and in the terms of advisable stock because it's the term in a fundamental terms also the stocks is trading as 10% times of their book value and it's look like a little bit expensive. And in the nominal terms and the micro terms, the company's working capitals also increasing right now. The companies are not very much good into the profit margins appreciations also as well as it completely depend on the government propositions as they are into the water treatment plants as well as the maintenance of the waters and water supply projects. So they have to completely depend on the government propositions where we are just facing a huge challenges to the term in of state to state billing propositions. So my suggestion is to just avoid as of now. And just if you want to go into the infra space, then just improvise and change their own counters lines or the stock propositions and just invest in another stock for the infrastructure.
Understood, understood. And Rajesh, do you echo Girish's view as well when it comes to this particular stock? Because, you know, Alok bought them at 270 rupees a piece and the stock is now trading around 222. So it has not really traveled so far. And from a short-term perspective, what would you suggest Alok to do and what should his stop loss be?
Yeah, so from a short term, definitely it's a underperforming stock. It is placed around support levels post listing. 205 has been acting as a support, so that can be kept as a stop loss. But having said that, the undertone remains negative. So any bounce towards 255 to 260 would be an excellent exit opportunity. So 200 would be the stop loss, 250, 255 would be the resistance.
Got it. And now let's talk to Ramesh. He's waiting for us on the phone line from Bengaluru. Hi, Ramesh. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Please tell us how can we help you today?
Ma'am, KPI Green Energy 800 stock average price 600. August month buy, ma'am. 1.5 thousand last, ma'am. 1 year target, ma'am. Seller hold extra share buy, ma'am.
Okay, understood. So just to reiterate Ramesh's question, he holds 800 shares of KPI Green Energy at 600 rupees a piece, and he's unfortunately sitting on a loss of close to 1.5 lakh rupees from this investment. The stock has not seen a decent ride since the time Ramesh at least bought them. In fact, it was down close to 3.5% in trade today. From a short-term perspective, Rajesh, I'd like to get your view here. How can we help Ramesh? Ramesh is sitting on a loss. Will he be able to convert this into profits even in the long term, or do you think Ramesh should book and just exit the stock at the moment?
So in a short term, he needs to keep radar on two levels. On the downside, 400 would be the stop loss. If 400 is breached, then the stock is poised for further downside. And on the high side, 455 to 460 is the key resistance. We have seen in the past any bounce towards 18 EMA is getting sold into. So 455, 460 is the currently the 18 and EMA. Once that is crossed, then the stock can expect momentum towards 550 to 570 levels. So these are the two levels can hold with the stop loss of 400. But once 450 is 455 crossed, then the momentum can be expected.
Okay, thanks for that view. And let's go across to another caller. Mahadev is calling us from Bengaluru. Hi, Mahadev. Good evening. Mahadev, can you hear me? Okay, there seems to be an audio issue. I'll take up Mahadev's query. He holds 100 shares of AGI Greenpack at 830 rupees a piece, and he is wanting a long-term perspective on this one. We in fact got a query on this particular stock yesterday as well. Girish, what is your view on AGI Greenpack? The stock has been down close to 2% in trade today, and plus has been seeing consistent cuts since December 2024. What's happening with the stock? Would you suggest Mahadev to hold on to his shares of AGI Greenpack at the moment? And if yes, for how long should his investment horizon with regards to the stock be?
Well, for the AGI Greenpack, the fundamentals looks strong because companies are recently working on their profit growth. And now the companies are excellent in the growth of around 80% plus CGR right now. They are just also improvising the debtors and working capital requirements also. So currently, as seen their profit results as well as the last 2 quarters numbers itself and how the measuring of these quarters, we are looking out that there's a good upsides from here. But my suggestion is to just hold your stock with a strong support lines of 680 rupees and just hold your position for at least 1.5 year time frame. So just getting a very excellent return from as of now.
Okay, got it. And Rajesh, what is your view on AGI Greenpack?
So I have a similar view that 640 is a strong support zone. But on the upside, 940 to 980 seems a very decent resistance. On 29th Jan, there was a sharp sell-off, and also these levels coincide with 200 DMA. So any bounce toward those levels need to be rechecked. How market is supporting and how the stock is poised. If it crosses 940, then further upside can be expected. But as of now, 640, 630 is definitely a very good support zone.
Okay, understood. And now we have Mahesh. He's calling us from Mumbai. Hi, Mahesh. Good evening.
Yes, hi. Good evening.
How can we help you today?
I'm holding about 870 shares of Trent Limited.
Okay.
Average buying price is 814. I've been accumulating this for last 10 years or so.
Wow. Okay.
I want to know at the current price level, what is the long-term view, fundamental as well as technical, because the stock has corrected from an all-time high of about 8,550 to current level of 5,100.
Right. Mahesh, congratulations on the kind of profits that you've made for yourself by investing in Trent. I will take up your view on this particular one from both our experts. Girish, I'll come to you on this one first. First question first, I'm curious as well, should Mahesh book his profits on Trent or not? Because it's a handsome money, over 38 lakh rupees made on Trent by holding on to it for the last 10 years or so. So should he book his profits or not?
So first of all, the congratulations to the investor who makes a very excellent profit. Like we have saw very limited investors make these type of profits in the longer period of time. So if we talk about the company fundamentals was excellent, but every investor need to understand that the profit booking is a part of this particular investing journey. So my suggestion is to at least book out 25% of the profit as of now. If we talk about the company fundamentals was good. The companies are working very excellently. 50% average CAGR and the growth, we are talking about the profit margin growth, are very good in any of the retail chain segments, and they are working on their tier 2 and tier 3 cities retail chains very excellently. So my suggestion is to book your profit 25% at least from here and just hold your position for the longer period of time.
Right, understood. And viewers, on that note, we will have to slip into a short break, but do stay tuned to NDTV Profit as we come back with more queries just on Ask Profit.
Small and mid cap, particularly in the last 4 years, because of retail flows, have become very exciting space. 35 to 38% of all the mutual fund flows goes into small and mid caps. It is almost 1/3 of the market.
It is all about ideas, where clients or investors can make money. Catch all the action on NDTV Profit. There has been some slowdown in corporate earnings and prices have corrected, valuations have corrected. So this conference will provide a very good backdrop for investors to understand where the value has remained intact but price has changed. So therefore they can accordingly tailor their portfolios. Catch all the action only on NDTV Profit.
Catch the action on NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter. And
IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Small and mid cap, particularly in the last 4 years, because of retail flows, have become very exciting space. 35 to 38% of all the mutual fund flows goes into small and mid caps. It is almost 1/3 of the market.
It is all about ideas, where clients or investors can make money. Catch all the action on NDTV Profit. There has been some slowdown in corporate earnings and prices have corrected, valuations have corrected. So this conference will provide a very good backdrop for investors to understand where the value has remained intact but price has changed. So therefore they can accordingly tailor their portfolios. Catch all the action.
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit only on NDTV Profit, and I'm your host Malika Mishra. This is a show where you ask your queries, all stock related questions, and we have them answered for you live on the call through our experts. Joining us today is Girish Sadani, who's a co-founder at Insure Capital. He will be answering all your technical fundamental questions, and Rajesh Bhosle, equity technical and derivative analyst from Angel One, here to answer all your technical questions. So do pick up that phone and call us. Preet is meanwhile waiting for us from Punjab on the phone line. Hi Preet, good evening.
Hello.
Hello Preet, good evening. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to try once again. Preet, can you hear me? Okay, call drop, but no issues. Preet had actually contacted us to inquire about Dream Folks Services. Now, he holds 100 shares of Dream Folks Services at 570 rupees a piece, and he is wanting a long-term view on this particular company. The stock did see cuts of close to 3.5% in trade today. It's hovering around 222 levels. So, pretty less, a lot less than the price that he bought these at, and he is as a result sitting on a loss of close to 35,000 from this investment. Girish, I'd like to take your view on Dream Folks Services, because the company did not only report a disappointing Q3 result, but is now foraying into different ways of generating revenue for itself, apart from travel industry, or fostering itself in the travel industry. What's your view on Dream Folks? How does the future prospect of the company look like?
So as we talk about the track record of the 3 years, the companies are ROEs nominal, like at above of the 30% range. But as of now, we saw that these aggregator platforms are facing a huge challenges in the top airports range as well as the nominal range of airports. So as of now, we are not feel like that the companies are getting a very good numbers in the next 2 or 3 quarters itself. My suggestion is to just avoid this stock for the longer period of time also. Once the clarity of that particular number for at least 2 to 3 quarters itself, that how they are working on their profit margins. So then we can expect some good upside from as of here. But now for the longer period of time also, I'm not very much bullish on this particular counter.
Okay, so not so bullish on Dream Folks. Let's talk to Srinivas. He's on the phone line from Chennai. Hi Srinivas, good evening.
Hi madam.
Hello, what's your question, Srinivas?
Madam, IT and FMGC stocks recommendation for madam, mid cap and madam, and small cap, long term investment.
Okay, Srinivas, any reason why you're particularly interested in IT and FMCG only?
Long term, madam.
Okay, no issues. Let's take a long-term view on
digital FMCG and consumer heavy buying.
Okay, understood. Okay. I had some trouble understanding what he said in the last, but I've understood the basic essence of his question. He's asking for a couple of counters, mid cap and small cap in the IT and FMCG space. I'll take both your views and suggestions, gentlemen, on this one. Girish, when we spoke last on mid cap and small cap, you did not give me a name from the IT and FMCG space. Do you think IT and FMCG are relatively good sectors, safer sectors to invest in? IT, for obvious reasons, I'm worried because of the looming threats of Trump tariffs. How do you see that space going ahead and trading in the future? And give us some top 2 to 3 picks from both the spaces.
Okay, so as we discussed previously also in this particular channel about the IT sector itself. So my view is not very much more focused on the US, the Trump issues and the tariff wars. We are not talking about like this because now our IT companies are more flexible to just shift to the other countries like a UAE, Greenland, as well as the Singapore's, Dubai's. So basically, we are more focused on that particular stocks where the companies are already shifted down. So for me, the IT segments is talk about the Tech Mahindra, these type of companies, Tech Mahindra and the TCS, who are still working on their particular domestic as well as the international market, not more focus on the US, but also focus on the UK as well as the UAE. So my suggestion is for the Tech Mahindra, that will be a good pick for me for the longer period of time. I'm not talking about the shorter period, but a longer period. And the suggestion is to just, if you want to invest in the IT segment, just go into the installment basis for the at least 2 to 3 times. So you have to do an average for the longer period of time. We are talking. And this is the IT space. Now we are talking about the FMCG. Yes, FMCG, we are facing the huge challenges in last 4 or 5 quarters itself because the FMCGs are facing a little bit tired in the tier 2 as well as the tier 3 cities. But now the FMCGs are still working on their quarter numbers, the margin numbers. We are seeing that the little bit the price upsides in the Dabur product lines as well as the Nestle. So we are talking about for the FMCG. Yes, my good pick is for the Dabur for the longer period of time.
Okay, okay. And Rajesh, what is your top 2 to 3 picks on IT and FMCG? Girish has already given us a fundamental view on both these sectors. So go ahead and give us some safe stocks to invest in.
Well, I have the same view along with the Girish that in the near term we are not expecting any major performance, but definitely at a very good levels. I have the same view. TCS and Tech Mahindra are placed on a very strong support levels, and the base formation is happening. So TCS and Tech Mahindra is my pick. From the FMCG space, I'm bullish on ITC. The stock has not fallen that much as compared to other FMCG, and is forming a good for base around 395 to 390. So ITC can be bought in a staggered manner as well.
Okay, thank you so much for those picks from IT and FMCG space. Now let's take up a WhatsApp query written to us from Vijita from Kolkata. Now she's given us 2 counters to compare. This is one is Vinati Organics and the other is Himadri Specialty Chemicals. She's asking which one among the 2 of them looks more promising from an investment point of view, especially if she could hold on to these shares or to these counters for a 3 to 5 year period, and should she invest in only one of these or go 50-50? Rajesh, I'll take your view on both these companies. How do these counters look like? And if one had to disperse some capital into these 2 companies, would you, what kind of strategy would you suggest on this one?
So both the counters have corrected significantly from their highs, and if we see both are placed on a very good support zones. So as of now, there are no clear winners. But having said that, both are placed on a very strong support. Vinati Organics can be bought with a stop loss somewhere around 1450. We can see base formation from long-term support. Similarly, Himadri Specialty, if we see, the stock is placed on a very strong support of 89 weekly moving average in the past as well. This key moving average has acted as a support. So 390 is a support for the Himadri Specialty. So both can be bought because no clear winner from both the sides. So both can be bought as a 50-50.
Understood. Got it. And let's go across to another caller. Bharat is calling us from Jaipur. Hi Bharat, good evening. Namaste.
Namaste, ma'am.
Please ask your question, Bharat.
Ma'am, PG Electroplast, 200 share.
Okay.
Buying price 762 and short time period के लिए.
अच्छा, और कितना short, sir?
दिसंबर लास्ट 2000.
दिसंबर में आपने खरीदा था, बट आप कितना टाइम के लिए इसको रखना चाहते हैं?
अभी दिसंबर के लास्ट तक रखना चाहते हैं, 2025 तक.
2025, ठीक है, 6 महीने तक. ठीक है, ठीक है. Rajesh, I'll come to you on this one again because this is a relatively a short-term view on PG Electroplast that Bharat is wanting. Bharat currently holds 200 shares of this company at 762 rupees a piece, and the stock is now trading around 881. It fell, in fact, close to 6% in trade today. What should, to what extent do you see PG Electroplast traveling upwards or downwards in the next 6 months?
So yes, it was down 6% in today's session. So there was some bearish momentum, but as of now, can hold on to it. It is moving in a high top, higher bottom structure. So trailing stop loss would be 800. If that is broken, then rising wedge breakdown can be seen. But as long 800 hold, he can expect upside back towards 1100. So 800 would be the stop loss, and 1100 would be the resistance.
Okay, got it. And Girish, I'd like to take your view on PG Electroplast as well.
So, in the fundamental terms, the companies looks good. Their companies are expecting a good quarter number itself for the next 2 quarters itself. So, we are a little bit positive signs for the at least 6 to 7 months time frame.
Understood. And now we have Hemant. He is calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, Hemant. Good evening. Hemant? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Hemant. Glad to have you. Please ask your question.
Long term, madam.
Okay.
Right sector stocks, mid-cap recommendations, madam, 5 years.
Could you please repeat your question, Hemant?
Tide stocks.
Okay. Tire stocks from the mid-cap space. Understood. Okay. From a 5-year point of view. So just to reiterate that more clearly, Hemant from Hyderabad wants to know a couple of stocks that you could suggest from the tire space in the mid-cap category. Girish, do you identify any such stocks in the tire manufacturing space that could help Hemant, generate good returns for himself for the next 5 years?
Apollo Tyre will be a good pick as of now because the already plants a strong setups plant in the Kochi, Boda, Pune, and multiple locations. Now the companies have already 2 top plants as of now, and companies are still working on that particular margin, and we saw that these margins are getting into the last 2 quarters itself, and we are expecting the same margins go in the next 3 quarters. Fine. And we are talking about reducing debt, and then they are more focused on the reducing debt as of now. The companies are working on the sales growth propositions, but we are seeing that in the next 2 quarters itself, if we talk about, because we are talking about for the longer period of time. So we are seeing that it's a good upside for the at least 10 to 15% of the sales growth for the next 1.5 year time frame. So Apollo Tyre will be my pick for the longer period.
Got it, got it. And let's now talk to Ashok. He's calling us from Delhi. Hi, Ashok. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. What's your question today, Ashok?
Ma'am, we have Steel Authority of India, 700 shares.
Okay.
At the rate of 99.2.
Okay.
And we have taken more than 2 years back.
Understood.
So, yes. So, should I wait or we can make profit?
Okay, and for if our viewer, if our experts had to suggest you to wait, then for how long would you want to wait?
1 year, 2 years, time, no problem, no?
1 or 2 years. Okay, okay. Yes. So Ashok from Delhi, he holds 700 shares of SAIL, which is Steel Authority of India. Now, he wants to know whether or not this is the right time to exit or, also hold on to these shares for the long term, say 1 or 2 years. Now, a little bit with regards to SAIL is that due to Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminium, the space has not been doing pretty well. In fact, if we can pull the Nifty Metal and see how it performed today, you would see most of the counters in the Nifty Metal basket declined in trade, and with just one of them advancing, and SAIL was also one of the biggest losers in that basket, as you can see over there. Girish, I'd like to take your view on SAIL. Now that our viewer has made a decent run from this particular investment, would it be wise or a prudent move to continue holding his 700 shares in sale for the next 1 or 2 years? Girish, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. As you saw that there's a heavy pressures into the steel and aluminum sectors, and now we are facing the tariff wars in the these particular segments. But now we are into the development of this particular space. And the government, as we talk about for the latest commentaries from the government, latest commentary from the industrial experts, as well as the industrial analysis also. Now we are talking about the domestic measuring of the boost of the industrial domestic propositions of the, especially to the steel and aluminum sectors, and reducing the proposition of the import duties. So my view is to because we are little bit bullish on that particular space as of now for the next 1.5 year, 2 year time frame. So my suggestion is to just wait and watch and hold your positions as of now. If you are getting a chance of around 95 to 100 levels also, just do an average of little bit from here. But you have to vision for at least 2.5 year time frame for the steel and aluminum sector. But you are getting a very good opportunities as of now to getting a good fundamental stock for a little bit lower sides of the sector, which is not still perform, but they can perform in the next 2 quarters.
Okay, understood. And now we have Mailsami. He is calling us from Coimbatore. Hi, Mailsami. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Please ask your question.
I have purchased 1,000 SPFC shares at the price of ₹88.
Okay.
I would like to know the future trend of the company as well as the microfinance companies.
Understood. Understood, Mailsami. Let's take your query to Girish again. Girish, how do you see the fundamentals of the company looking like? Mailsami currently holds 1,000 shares of SBFC at 88 rupees a piece, and the stock currently hovers around 90 levels. It has largely been a range-bound trade, if I'm not wrong. Go ahead and give us your fundamental perspective, please.
So the companies belongs to the high courts of the NBFCs, the loans offerings, loan against the goals. But as we saw that the good opportunities, propositions, we talk about the sales numbers also, the companies are still finding in the good range of expansions into the geographical locations also. Now the companies are working on that particular numbers. So for the longer period of time, at least 2 to 3 quarters, that you have to hold your position as of now. But my strong fundamental stop loss that would be somewhere around 68 to 70 rupees. If you can hold from that particular stop loss, you can hold for the time frame of at least 2 quarters.
Okay, and now let's go across to Rajesh. He's calling us from Noida. Hi, Rajesh. Good evening. Rajesh, can you hear me? Okay, I'll try once more. Rajesh? Okay, he's not there with us. But we have his query. Rajesh basically holds 9,700 shares of Jio Financial Services at 295 rupees a piece. He's asking whether he should hold or sell. Rajesh, I will take Rajesh's view to Rajesh. Rajesh, what's your view on Jio Financial Services? The stock dipped close to 2.5% in trade today, and our viewer holds 9,700 shares. So that's a massive quantity. What would you suggest Rajesh to do?
So we don't know the how much he can how much long he can hold. So from a short term point of view, we don't expect any major performance from this counter, but from a long term, the stock is poised on a very strong support. So around 210 to 200 is a very strong base for the counter. Can hold on to it. On a bounce, 260 to 270 is what we can expect if he is holding for like 1 year or more. So hold on with the stop loss somewhere around 200.
Okay, and now let's talk to Alex. He's calling us from Kerala. Hi, Alex. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Which stock do you have a doubt about today?
I have a doubt about Borosil Renewables.
Okay, and what is your question?
I have a long-term view on this stock. In the glass sector, since it is a monopoly in glass, solar glass making, I have taken this one. Is it good to hold for 2 to 3 years, or looking for any other alternative like Ashi glass?
Okay, understood, Alex. Girish, I'd like to know your view on Borosil Renewables. Alex holds 100 shares at 487 rupees a piece. The stock is now trading around 510. Although he has made marginal profits out of this investment, where do you see the stock is headed in the next 1 or 2 years, especially given the kind of ride that it has seen? It's very uncertain on the stock exchanges. Do you see any kind of stability penciling into this stock in the near term?
So basically, it's a very leading glass manufacturer, and we're talking about now the solar every single way. So in the renewable energy, the Borosil is a very strong candidate for the ancillaries part. So our suggestion is to just hold your position as of now. We are just seeing a very good upside from here for at least 1.5 year time frame, because it's a strong candidate in the ancillaries of the solar glass applications. And now what the conventions in the solar propositions as per the government norms, we are sure that this stock will getting a very strong upside.
Okay, and just for a better understanding, Girish, I'd like to confirm you're positive on this stock despite a negative ROC and ROE, is that right?
Yes, but it the term in the fundamentals as well as the how the companies are going in the sales numbers. We are talking about for the at least 3 to 4 years time frame. And we saw that we are expecting the sales number should be at least 40% for the next at least 3.5 years.
Okay, understood. Let's take up another query. Krishna has written to us from Bengaluru and he would like a fundamental as well as technical view on Bosch. Rajesh, why don't you take this question first?
Okay, so Bosch Limited, somewhere around 26,000 is the support. Today we saw profit booking on a bounce. So if any position is hold, then 26,000 would be the support. And on a bounce, we don't expect any major upside. 29,500 to 30,000 would be the resistance. Can look to exit position on any bounce.
Okay, understood. And Girish, what's your view on Bosch? How does it fundamentally look to you?
Fundamentally looks a little bit good for the as we talk about the debt-free company. But as we saw that is little bit in a higher range, and we also looking like that it could be the sell on rise candidates.
Okay. Now we have another WhatsApp query written to us from Rakesh. He lives in Jaipur and holds 1,000 shares of Tilak Nagar Industries at 231 rupees a piece and is asking for a long-term view. Now, Rakesh is sitting on a profit of close to 13,000 rupees, but the stock did see a fall of around 3% in trade today. Girish, what is your view on Tilak Nagar Industries looking like, especially, it comes from the liquor space. How is it posed to perform in the next couple of years?
So for the couple of years, we saw that you should be at least hold for the time frame of 2 to 3 years. But again, the strong stop loss that is 185 to 190 time frame. So if you can be hold for that particular range, so you can hold it out and talk about the company fundamentals. The companies are reducing their debt. That is a very strong candidates in the term in the last 3 quarters. We are seeing that the debt is almost reducing for the growth of approximately 3 to 4% time frame, as well as we are delivering a strong profit numbers also. But now the companies are struggling in the particularly tax margins at the tax rates time frame. And the promoter is also reducing their holdings. So these are 2 remarks where the companies saw the heavy profit booking as of now. But for the longer period of time, it's a good candidate.
Okay, understood. And now we will go across to WhatsApp query. Is it? Okay, a caller. Mohit is calling us from Punjab. Hi, Mohit.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. What's your question, Mohit?
It's about Chambal Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited.
Okay, and how many shares of Chambal Fertilizers do you hold? Mohit?
It's about Chambal Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited.
Yes, I heard that. And how many shares of Chambal Fertilizers and Chemicals do you hold at the moment?
5150.
Okay, and since when do you hold them?
Hello.
Hello, Mohit, could you please give us your complete question? How many shares of Chambal Fertilizers do you hold? At what price?
5,150.
5,000, okay, 150. And at what price?
Still, ma'am, since issue price, 10 rupees.
Okay, 10 rupees. Okay, and you are wanting a long-term view on this one?
Long term, ma'am.
Okay, okay, got it. And for how long have you been holding on to this? How many years has it been?
No time limit, madam.
Okay, okay. I hope I'm getting his question right. So Mohit from Punjab holds 5,000 shares of Chambal Fertilizers at 10 rupees a piece. Girish, this stock is now trading around 614. I don't know how much profit that is, but suggest what our viewer should do. Should he book his profits or continue to hold on to this share?
Again, congratulations the investor for the excellent profit, because we talk about the IPO listing time. So as of now, we are thought that, again, my suggestion is to book at least 25% of the profit. As of now, we talk about the fundamental terms. The companies are very strong in the fundamental terms. It's a debt-free company. The working capitals, the requirements are reducing. The companies are presenting their good profit numbers. They're struggling in their particular sales number itself. But I thought that for the longer period of time, the companies are working on that particular thoughts also. So for the longer period of time, the companies are looks good, but at least book up 25% of the profit.
Okay, so at least book 25% of the profit, and the company definitely has seen close to 78% of a rise in the last 1 year itself. So great stock identified over there. And with that, Girish and Rajesh, thank you so much for joining in and answering all the queries of our viewers. We hope to see you back soon. And viewers, do stay tuned to NDTV Profit, but also don't forget to call us on the numbers of Ask Profit to answer, if you have doubt related to any of the stocks listed on the stock exchanges. We're here. And do stay tuned to NDTV Profit for more news and updates.
Small and mid cap, particularly in the last 4 years, because of retail flows, have become very exciting space. 35 to 38% of all the mutual fund flows goes into small and mid caps. It is almost 1/3 of the market.
It is all about ideas, where clients or investors can make money. Catch all the action on NDTV Profit. There has been some slowdown in corporate earnings and prices have corrected, valuations have corrected. So this conference will provide a very good backdrop for investors to understand where the value has remained intact but price has changed. So therefore they can accordingly tailor their portfolios. Catch all the action only on NDTV Profit.
Catch the action on NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter.
IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Small and mid cap, particularly in the last 4 years, because of retail flows, have become very exciting space. 35 to 38% of all the mutual fund flows goes into small and mid caps. It is almost 1/3 of the market.
It is all about ideas, where clients or investors can make money. Catch all the action on NDTV Profit. There has been some slowdown in corporate earnings and prices have
give up stellar gains from the last few sessions to end flat as heavyweight stocks like RIL and IndusInd Bank drag the market. All sectors barring IT and private bank end lower. The weakness comes after sessions of outperformance fueled by higher FII flows. The Finance Minister confirms NDTV Profit's news break in a reply to discussion on the Finance Bill 2025 tabled in the Lok Sabha. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman focuses on tax clarity, simplifying business regulations, proposing 35 amendments on bills including 6% equalization levy on digital ads, commonly known as Google tax. Pharma stocks weaken on anticipation that Donald Trump imposed tariffs could impact the sector. The index is grappling with global economic uncertainties, tariff wars, and higher valuation for some stocks that dent the pharma sentiment. Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta presents 1 lakh crore rupee budget for FY26 with 10 focus areas, including electricity, roads, water, women's safety, and connectivity. In a major development for the Dharavi redevelopment project, the ongoing survey has surpassed the achievements of the previous 2007 to 2008 survey, which documented around 60,000 ground floor tenements. Stand-up comedian Kunal Kamra continues to face the heat over his jibe at Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde as the Mumbai police issues a notice to him. Meanwhile, in a statement issued by the comedian, he refuses to apologize. Good evening, you're watching Profit 360 on NDTV Profit. I'm Sanjana. Along the next half an hour, we're going to bring you the latest on markets, but as well as national and international news. So let's dive right into it and take a look at what happened in the markets today. Now, the markets ended on a subdued note after 5 straight sessions of gains, with most sectors closing in the red except for IT and private banking. Reliance Industries erased gains contributed by HDFC Bank, leading to a lackluster performance overall. My colleague Harsh now bringing us this comprehensive wrap-up of today's market action. Let's take a look.
Well, a bit of a dull day with regard to where markets are concerned. We've had a good few sessions where we've gained in trade, but today a bit tepid in that sense. We've seen a fall from the highs on the Nifty 50 of nearly 250 points in trade today, intraday, and therefore we've closed at very close to the day's lows for the day. So on the Nifty, and the breadth as well on the Nifty. It thinned very, very quickly in the last hour or so of trade. So pressure coming in. Of course, a couple of gainers, the likes of a Trent and Ultratech standing out with, of course, news related, but nonetheless, news related on Ultratech, but nonetheless, those couple of stocks stood out. But outside of that, we saw pressure across the board outside of IT. IT was one pocket that stood out and did well, 1% higher on the Nifty IT index, top sectoral gainer in trade as well today. Outside of that, the Nifty Bank too had a flattish kind of a day. Within the Nifty Bank, the Nifty PSU Bank was the main culprit, 1.7% lower. Other heavyweights on the Nifty Bank did fairly okay. Kotak and AU and HDFC. HDFC was in the green, in fact. And therefore, some of those within the private basket were doing well. ICICI was the other key drag within the Nifty Bank, so something to keep your eye out on. In